this band of man with your left arm, heart, the man of this track.
Hello, I'm Joyce Woodworth. Welcome to the Spirit of the Heartland. There are several mentoring programs in the Winona area. These programs are all effective in giving today's youth direction and hope for their future. In today's show, we'll take a look at 4 of these helpful organizations. The Big Brothers and Big Sisters, for instance, is part of the oldest mentoring organization in the nation. Lisa Lundquist, the coordinator, tells us more about it as we meet with her and a group of the Bigs and Littles at the Bud King Ice Arena.
And what our goal is to match children with a caring mentor, one-on-one. And we are very successful at this. Research has shown that kids are so much more likely to stay in school if they have a mentor. They are so much less likely to do drugs and alcohol. They get along better with their peers. They just tend to do better in school. They tend to do better in life. And we are very proud of this. We have some mentors here who have been matched with their children for over 7 years, which is an incredibly long time. Our mentor of the year, our Big Brother of the year, has done incredible things with his little boy. In fact, this kid just recently was on the honor roll in school, and his big brother got him a tutor to help him with school. And, of course, obviously it paid off.
Bill Baker is the Big Brother of the Year. He and his little brother Cody, who have been paired together for 3 years, talk about what they enjoy when hanging out together.
I like going to movies with them a lot. We do that a lot, often, during the winter.
During the winter, yeah.
Yeah. But during the summer, we go biking, we run.
Yeah, he lets me beat him still.
Yeah.
Besides in running, we're getting very close. In the short distance, I can't stay with him anymore. I think they did a really great job of matching me up with a person. And it's been 1,000 times better than I ever thought it would have been.
My life was rough at the time because my friend did pass away. And he was there, so that was actually good. And we have a lot in common, a lot.
Overall, there's very little things that I'm interested in that he wouldn't be interested in. And, if it's sitting up in Minneapolis trying to go to a Viking game, trying to figure out who we can get the best price on the street for tickets, and we'll have a budget, and we'll say, hey, if we don't get this, we'll go to the Mall of America. A lot of times I overlap it where I might be doing something volunteering, and I'll call him up, and the two of us will go do volunteer work doing something else that has nothing to do with Big Brothers. So that's time I was going to be doing that anyway, and, right away, he's never had a problem jumping right in and volunteering in other different areas that I do other work in, too. So overall, there's plenty of time out there, and I doubt there's anyone hardly any busier than I am, so I know everyone has time.
Our Big Sister of the Year has just taken her little girl under her wing. It's really incredible what mentoring can do.
My favorite part is watching Noelle grow and develop in certain areas, and the confidence that she's getting, I think, by being together, and the fun, the smiles on her face, and the fun that we share, and the things that we do together, and just when she sees me, she runs to me with her arms out. She has a big smile on her face, and that alone is very rewarding. Just makes you feel good inside and all over, and something to look forward to each week.
So I come to her birthdays, and I gave her this necklace, but we didn't really figure out what it said.
No, it's a necklace, a coin that's cut in half, and she wears half and I wear half.
Yeah, today we didn't get
and we didn't have them on today.
We have 162 matches right now in Winona County. It's considered that there are about 1,200 kids in Winona County who could use a mentor. So that is, 10% of the kids who could use a mentor at the moment. We have 45 children on our waiting list. We always need men. We are so desperate for big brothers. Some boys are matched with women, and of course they can learn an awful lot from a woman. But some boys really do want a big brother, and they're willing to wait for one. I was a big sister myself for 7 years in Illinois. And the very day of my job interview, I got a letter from my little girl, and she's in her 20s now, and she's going to have a baby. And she said, "I want to let you know that you're the one who taught me how a child should be loved."
The Big Brothers Big Sisters organization prides itself on changing the world to be a better place, one child at a time. If you would like to be involved as a mentor to a child in need, call Big Brothers and Big Sisters at 452-2227. The Restorative Justice Program of Winona County, based in the Winona Courthouse, serves juveniles who in one way or another have gone astray and puts them back on the right track by teaming them up with a mentor. Well, I'm here with Joyce Packard, who is the coordinator of the Restorative Justice Program here in Winona County. And Joyce, I understand that you deal with a lot of young people and you do a sort of a mentoring program with them. Let's talk about the mentoring program.
Okay. The mentoring program for Winona County started about 7 years ago, and we have kind of gone through phases. Our kids are a little bit different than Big Brother, Big Sister. They are kids that are a little older, and some of them might have been in trouble with the law, and they might be placed on probation, and that's how we might get a referral. We also get referrals from Department of Human Services and from the school system.
So what kind of services do you offer to these young people?
We provide, first of all, a mentor who goes through all the process that mentors have to go through. They go through a training, they go through a background check, and they commit to do an hour and a half to 2 hours a week with the juveniles in our program. We sponsor 4 activities a year, and those activities, like we have a pizza party, we have a picnic, we do a Halloween party, and some kind of spring activity. And so it's just mainly to have another pair of eyes and ears with these kids.
And what kind of problems do these kids have?
Most of the kids that come to us, like I said, come through probation, but actually they usually are a single-parent household. It can be just a father or a mother, and they've gotten themselves into trouble, or they're showing behavior at school that's, causing school teachers to want to, have somebody else in their life. And so
they're not necessarily kids that are in trouble with the law, is that correct?
Right.
Okay. All right. And how many kids are in your program?
We have a small program. Right now we have 6 kids, and we just received 2 more referrals. At one point when the program first started, we had like 25 kids in the program. That I don't know if it says for the times, but maybe things are getting better, I would hope.
Yeah. Well, that's a good indicator. And then where do you get your mentors from?
The community. We recruit college students and adults. We really need male mentors. So if you have a key to how to get males to volunteer, let us know, because we really struggle with having male volunteers.
Sure. Well, can you give us some examples of some success stories that you've had with your program?
The one success story that comes to mind is a student that got involved with us when he was 12. He got in trouble, and we did a restorative justice conference for him, and that brings together the victim, the offender, and community members, law enforcement. We talk about what they did. Through that process, it was recommended that he have a mentor. What happened for him was he got mentored by a retired judge, actually, and the judge did just a wonderful thing for him. He ended up singing with the Winona hymns, playing a violin, playing tennis, and he's now going to the University of Minnesota. So that's a pretty good success story.
So these might be kids that just have gone astray a little bit. They just need a little push into a different direction.
Right.
And a mentor would certainly help.
Yes, definitely. Definitely help, yes.
Great. So tell me then a little bit more about the mentors and the kids together. What kinds of things do they do?
Well, we provide the mentors with a whole list of activities of different things that they can do. We have movie coupons, we do fundraising for all of our activities. And so we have movie coupons, bowling coupons. Some of these kids have never, like if we have a college student mentoring, they get exposed to the college campus, find out that there are other things that they can do other than getting in trouble. In the conferencing process, they have everybody in the conference itself actually makes a determination of what the consequences are. Like if you go to court, the judge says this is what you'll do. In this process, the juvenile has a voice and has an opportunity to say what they're willing to do. You know, and when kids are vested like that, they do what they say they're going to do. They follow through. You know, I'm trying to think, our recidivism rate for the conferencing process is, we have a 93% success rate.
Great.
With the kids. Kids who go to court have a 50% success rate.
Great.
So, yeah.
Now, tell me the ages of the kids generally and how long they generally stay in your program.
Okay, the kids come to us. The youngest person that we have in the mentoring program right now is 11. Usually the matches last a year to 2 years. The kids who come through the conferencing process, of course, we only see for a short time. Our community work service program, kids come out of court for that one, and so they might have 40 hours of community service, and so Jess and I work with them for 40 hours.
Great. All right. Well, it sounds like a real satisfying job, and it
is.
sounds like your kids are really getting some help.
They are.
Okay. Thank you so much, Joyce.
Thank you.
One of the largest mentoring programs in the Winona area is the Miller Mentoring Program. We go to the Winona Middle School to find out what that program is all about. I'm sitting with Cindy Altoff today, and we're going to talk about the Miller Mentoring Program, which is the high school and Winona Middle School mentoring program in Winona, begun by Ben Miller back in
2000, fall of 2000. It's a school-based mentor program, so that means our volunteers come in and work one-on-one with students that have been identified as having difficulties at school. And first year we had about 20 matches, and we've grown to almost 90 this year. We work with students in 6th through 12th grade. Mentors originally commit to a one school year commitment, but what has amazed me is the number of volunteers that have continued. Example would be Shelley and Samara. Shelley signed up for a year. 5 years later, they're still together.
So obviously it is really working for the two of you. Let's talk about your experiences in the Miller Mentoring Program. Samara, first of all, tell me how long you've been in it and how you decided to get into the mentoring program.
Well, I started when I was in the 7th grade, and I'm a junior now, so it's been almost 5 years. And Miss Altoff, I wasn't doing very well in school, and Miss Altoff decided that she would have a meeting with me. I was in a lot of things at school. I was in the play and choir and band, and I had to balance everything out, and homework didn't come as a priority to me.
In my job, I attend a lot of meetings, and I wanted to do something that was more personal. And granted, it's one student that I'm able to meet with and hopefully make an impact, but I find it very rewarding to do that, to have more of a personal level of volunteering. Samara has learned a lot. I remember when we first started, she wouldn't even bring her books when we would come for mentoring. And we would walk to her locker and we would get her texts or we would get her worksheets and get her examples, and then we'd sit and she's learned now. Now she shows up, and if she has a question, she doesn't ask me. She goes to her text, she looks at the textbook, she looks back at other examples of questions, and she does that all on her own. And so when she says, oh yeah, I think, she's learned. She's learned how to study, I think, and how to apply herself.
Meeting with someone once a week seemed like the end of the world to me in the 7th grade. But now it's a lot of fun, and I really do look forward to seeing her once a week. And I got a really good friend out of it, and a role model, and someone that I look up to a lot.
Isn't that wonderful? And how do you feel about inspiring this young lady?
Oh, I think she's probably inspired me more than she knows and understands. I leave those sessions and am amazed at what a wonderful young woman she's turning out to be. She's navigating through high school. She's staying focused, and she's doing what she needs to do to be a positive contribution in our society. It's a wonderful program. If people can spare that hour, it certainly would be a great, rewarding experience for themselves, and they'll see how much just that 1 hour makes a difference in a young person's life.
I know that Ben Miller really had a strong interest in education of our young people in Winona, and that's probably what inspired him to get this mentoring program going.
He was not judging or just knew that kids had struggles, and he wanted to make it positive. So with the help of another adult, I think we all believe the more adults we have in our lives, the more successful we may be. And that was his vision and his goal.
I've been hanging out with Ben after school for like a year and a half now, I think, right? And I get to come here and help him out with his homework and help him organize his stuff and make sure he stays on task and fills out his logbook, which he did a really good job of this week. So that's good. And yeah, then if we get done early, we get to do fun things like play basketball or fly fish sometimes, right? Yeah.
Well, is that working for you?
Yeah, it has been working for me.
Oh, good. So how do you feel about this guy next to you?
Awesome. He's a really cool guy. I like the fact that he helps me with my homework so I get good grades and stuff like that, because right now I'm a little unorganized.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and why you decided to come and mentor a student.
It started as actually a class requirement for one of my education classes, and it was just for one semester, so just for half a year. But then I looked at my schedule for the next semester, and it was free at that time, and it seems kind of silly to just come and do it for half a year when you can keep on going. I mean, I think it's good that there's the same person all the time, right? Yeah, it's better than having it switched out. So I get to come and I get to help out, and it's awesome. And I get to hang out with Ben, which is always good because I like hanging out with Ben. He's a cool guy.
Oh, so Ben, do you feel like you really have gotten a friend out of this deal?
Yep, I have gotten a friend out of this deal.
And what do you think is the best thing that you've gotten out of it?
That he helped me one year, like for the third quarter, he actually got my grades up a lot by helping me with my homework and stuff, yeah.
You know, it isn't just all about books or memorizing. For him, it was a process. You evolve into the person you are because of the people you meet, the people that are influential in your life.
So he obviously felt that you understood the importance of matching someone who would inspire someone else to do something that would make them a better person. So tell me now, how do you do that? How do you match a mentor with a student?
Well, there's a process that we go about. The volunteer has to be 18. They have to fill out an application. We do background checks. And then we do a training session where we talk about just relationship, the role of the mentor, talk about confidentiality. We talk about different scenarios that children may be dealing with today. One of the things that has amazed me the most is the smallest thread between people. Amazing what can happen. One common thing, and then the relationship just happens.
I've started the program. This is my first semester doing it. I plan on coming back next semester, and so far it's been a lot of fun. Have gotten to get to know Elena a little bit more, and hopefully we'll be her buddy next semester as well.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
And are you a Winona State student?
I am a Winona State sophomore student this year. I'm a nursing student, so this isn't really something that I'm required to take. I just kind of did it for fun and just to get involved.
I've been here since 6th grade, and I've had 3 different buddies.
Well, tell me about this buddy.
She's pretty nice. She's funny. She brought me sugar wafers one time.
Do you find that your grades are going up a little bit by being in this program?
Yeah, because if you don't turn your homework in, then, your grade gets deducted. So I just, when I'm here, my homework gets done, and then my grade doesn't drop. So.
Tell me how you got into the mentoring program.
Well, in 6th grade, I didn't get my homework done a lot. So they asked me to come join Study Buddies, and I wasn't going to, but then I tried it out, and I really liked it. You can play games, and they have family dinners, and sometimes, special guests come. And it's a really great learning experience.
When you're here every week with them, you kind of, you become their friend, I guess, more than anything. And that's probably the most important part. I mean, yeah, we're here to do work and we're here to do homework, but it's just kind of about building relationships and getting to know each other. So
4 years ago, we started a component or a partnership with Winona State where we use education majors, and they come in and are classified as study buddies. The person that does the majority of that is Vanessa Shane.
What we do is we'll match a Winona middle school student based on characteristics from that student or interests that they have. And we'll match them with a Winona State student or another mentor that comes forward based on things that are compatible with those two. So these are a few of ours. We have about
Yeah.
65 students
Yeah,
at
a
the
lot
middle
of
school
students.
involved, and then another about 30, 35 at the high school. So.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of kids to match with the
Absolutely.
right person.
Well, I started as a mentor 4 years ago, and I started through Winona State, through one of their education classes. And I was matched with a young boy who's in 6th grade, who is now he's a sophomore at the high school, and I still get to see him, so it's kind of rewarding for me. But I started as a mentor, came back and started part-time, and then came back after I graduated, a month after I graduated, just to say hi and see how the program was going, and was hired within days. So this is my 2nd year full-time with the program. So.
Well, wonderful. So have you been here long enough to see some real success stories?
Absolutely. And what's kind of nice is that the 8th graders that we had last year, we kind of get to follow them over to the high school. That's the kind of the interesting part of it, is that we're 6 through 12. So we get to see that transition and help them through that transition, because a lot of times that can be a kind of a roller coaster for them. So it's been interesting. And yes, there's been a lot of success stories. There's been a lot of stories that we've really had to help with these kids. But I think that the success stories really exceed the really beautiful stories to watch and to hear. So.
Now, do you actually set up other activities beyond the classroom type activities? Do they go off and do some recreational things together?
Typically, the program itself is school-based, so the interaction does happen at school. We have set up things like going to Winona State basketball game. We have a family dinner, and our point there is to make sure that our families know that we welcome them also, to get them into school, to sit down and share a meal. We have the mentors sit with the families, and so then they also appreciate maybe family dynamics. Whenever we do anything, it's like Ben comes back. He was very, very instrumental in doing a program, Food for Families, where he encouraged meals at school. We're trying to continue that. I've truly been blessed that I met and was able to work with Mr. Miller, and now Hugh and Vera Miller are sponsoring the program. And again, 2 people that are giving back because it's the right thing to do.
Each year, the Rotary Club of Winona sets up a shadow program for students of Winona Senior High and Cotter. Students choose a career they may be interested in following, and the Rotary Club matches them up with a person working in that field of interest and then shadows them for the day. These students are invited to a luncheon where they first meet their mentor.
Rotarians are proud of their chosen profession, and we are always ready, willing, and able to encourage students in their career selection process. We are fortunate to have many wonderful members of the Winona community assisting us with the program today.
The mentors are from a good variety of professions in the Winona area, including social workers, physicians, teachers, firefighters, engineers, interior designers, and on and on. 50 students were matched up with a person in their career choice. I was actually invited to share my workday with student Austin Grubb from Winona Senior High School, who was interested in screenwriting. After lunch at Westfield, where we met up with the other mentors and their high school students, we came back to my edit suite at the HBC television studio, where Austin shadowed me for the afternoon. We worked on a piece to include as a clip for this mentoring show. Austin wrote an introduction, did his own voiceover, and then helped edit the piece to include right here.
January is National Mentor Month, so today we will be looking at some of the great mentoring programs that Winona and its schools have to offer.
Oh, wow. I think that sounded really good. Are you happy with that?
Yes.
Good. I think that was excellent. You did a great job with that.
Thank you.
Would you like to go into the studio now? I know they're taping a show on the exercise program. See how that's done?
Okay.
Okay,
sure.
let's go in there. We stopped off in the control room, where Justin Barrientos was directing a segment of Lisa Rudrud's Light on Fitness. Austin was able to experience how a show is produced from a television studio and learn a little bit about screenwriting in a real job situation. In today's show on mentoring, we have discovered there are 4 ongoing mentor programs in the Winona area. all helping our youth become better directed, self-satisfied, and more productive citizens in our world. These programs not only help our youth, but also provide an avenue for adults. By becoming a mentor, they have an opportunity to help another, which brings self-satisfaction. To become a mentor or receive a mentor in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, contact their office at 507-452-2227. If you're interested in the Restorative Justice program, contact Joyce Packard at 507-457-6534. The Miller Mentoring Program for Winona Middle School students or Winona Senior High School students can be reached at 507-494-1145. And if you are a senior high school student interested in the Rotary Shadow Program, you can contact the Guidance Counseling Office at Cotter or Winona Senior High Schools. This has been Joyce Woodworth. Thank you for joining me today. Please join me again next week. Till then, enjoy the Spirit of the Heartland.